Data analysis expression. See, in this example, we see there's a calculation of total sales being done in which an inbuilt function sum is being called and a sales table's sales amount value is being summed. So if we break the parts of these expressions into these alphabets and if we go through all of them, what it means is A is the measure name of total sales. So you are naming something. The expression has a name, that is total sales. Equal to sign indicates the beginning of the formula. When calculated, it will return the result and assign to total sales. The DAX function column sum adds up all the numbers found in the sales amount column, right? So in this you will learn more about functions later on. Parenthesis is given to surround an expression containing one or more argument. So some function takes one argument. So in programming world, all functions would have a parenthesis, and if there are arguments to be passed, those would be contained in that parenthesis. So that's why parentheses are important. Sum is highlighted in blue if you look over here is because it is an inbuilt function given by Microsoft and Power BI. The reference table is the sales table. So from the Power BI relationships and the tables, whatever you've imported, it's a sales table what we are referring it to. And wherein the column name within that sales table is a sales amount. So with this argument, sum function knows on which column to aggregate the sum. Let's go back and try to replicate this in a Power BI desktop. So in this, if we have a look at here, we have the orders table. And if I drill down a further, I see there is no monetary value assigned, so we can leave it aside. Invoices will have some value of price, right? That's a unit price. Okay. Customers, customer employees, and the products. Right. In this, if we have to take the sum of all the orders which are placed, right? So we will have to first see how are we arriving at a value. Is it a revenue? Is it the ticket item? So this is how you should go about going using the function. My ask in this scenario is I want to create the sum or the what would be the total sum of my all the invoices. So I want basically a revenue figure as on date for all the sales what we've done till now, and it has to come from this table as invoices will have all these tables. Let's check the invoice table and its fields. So if I go over here and I see invoices table, I see there is a unit price and then I have quantity. So if I multiply quantity with the unit price, it should give me the revenue from that value. So let's go into the table. Okay. And let's open the invoices table. I write a new column which would be total revenue till date. In this, I'm saying unit price. So it by default picks up the column from the same table itself. Invoice table multiplied by quantity. So this is what it should give me. If all is the numeric value, then I will get a value next to it. So this is the value of the dollar amount I'm receiving from every product, its unit quantity, right? So if you look at it, the extended price is same as what we calculated. So if I go back and see, it is extended price coming from the default value. This is a calculated value what we've got, right? So I am looking at the revenue which is bought into the system. So if you evaluate this, this is in our example, previous example, it is the measure name, right? So whatever is being done to the right of the equal to would get assigned to this measure. In this case, it's not a measure, it's a column, right? So you have to take care that DAX expressions will have equal to sign, and it would get assigned to either a measure or a new column. In this case, it's a new column, and the way to decipher this, whether to add a new column or a new value measure, is a question what you would ask yourself, which is, will this formula get applied on every row individually or an aggregated row? So would you multiply something in the horizontal fashion and would be applicable to every row? Then you are most likely to go ahead with the additional column. But what if I am trying to check the sum of a value, a unique value coming out of a column, or few values from particular column? In this scenario, it cannot be a column, rather it would become a measure. I hope it goes down well and it's clear when to use a measure and when to use a new column. I have added a new column so that I get a unique value of the price and the quantity. So this is my unique value for every row. Had it been only one unique value throughout the table, that would have been a measure. So now, after having a column with what value I need, I can just rename this revenue from invoices, right? And I can save it as revenue from invoices, right? And I can say okay, so it gets renamed, right? Now I right click on it, I can write a new measure. Yeah, it will show me total revenue. Let me give it a title, right? In this case, let's do one thing. This is the total revenue. Now I can call a function like our example, revenue from invoices. This function what would it do is sum up all the values. It doesn't appear as a new column, but it gets shown like revenue, total revenue, like here. Just see, it is some kind of a measure, therefore it shows some calculator symbol in front of you. This is the small indicator how it works. Now you can happily use this value in your chart. So let me call in, no, I don't want this chart. Let's change it to a normal chart, and I can add a field that is total. Where is my total? Yeah, from the invoice table, I am adding this field, total sales. So as of now, I have 1.35 million sales. Now, if I want to filter some data on top of this, I can add filters at the page level, report level, or I can have these values, slicer values at the top of the screen to help filter the value. So let me show you that as well. Slicer value, let me add a slicer. To that slicer, let me add one field. Okay. Let me add a new field, and that field should be based on product type. So to filter it and show it over here, let's take advantage of my orders. Orders is coming from order details. It has shipper. Where are my products? Where are my products? And if I say product name, do I have anything as categories or anything? If that works, no. So rather what I can do is I can use country or cities as one of the filter, right? So if I want to add a filter as city, so from my orders table I can say ship city. There you are. I'll just take this off. I will take this off. Okay, I can. So this has to change. It isn't changing. That means we have to check the connection. If it is backward integratable, then probably it will go. So if everything is fine, it will allow me to do a backward integration. In this case, when I change over something over here, it allows me to update something over here and here as well. And if I change from the products, but I have changed it, rather let me bring it to the single. Rather, we are working on invoices and the product ship city, right? So the ship city is over here and the sum is also over here. So in this scenario, it has to flow the data from this to this, both ways. Yeah. Now if I go back and I change the value, it should show.